What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In today's episode, we're gonna quickly go and cover the hottest topic in the watch market now, and that is none other than the MoonSwatch. The biggest cash grab in the history of watches, the biggest scam, and the biggest waste of time and money. Because not only that you spend $260 for a product that can break within the next month or two, you're also waiting in line for hours, 20 hours, 22 hours. People have been waiting in line. So absolutely fuck this, but let's get into the video. So last year when Omega and Swatch announced a collaboration to bring back or to give us a Speedmaster that is affordable, it was super exciting. It was exciting for me, it was exciting for everybody that loved watches, and even for people that knew nothing about watches or are not big watch fanatics. People are just super excited about this. Lions. People waiting in line for as long as 20 something hours. Guys, this is insane. This is insanity. I would never do that, and I never suggest or support anybody doing this type of shit. A few things that we were super excited about, or I was super excited about this collaboration, was definitely the fact that finally maybe I can get a Speedmaster, because you know, before they've been expensive and now they are $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. I think that's ridiculous, and I cannot afford that watch. It's way out of my price range. So when the collab was introduced to us, I was super excited. I said that I'm getting the watch no matter what. I will do my best. Although in the city that I used to live at the time, you couldn't buy it. So it was only in a few cities here in Canada, Toronto where I am now, but I wasn't here then, and I couldn't get it. And I was super upset and very sad. And I started looking online at what people say about the watch, people that got the watch, right? And I also started looking on Chrono24 to see for the fucking people that would flip the watch. And you would see this watch on Chrono24 going for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $6,000. That, imagine how upset I was. You know, I said that even if this watch is the biggest fucking garbage ever, even if this watch is, I don't like it, I can just turn a profit. I could just make a couple $1,000s out of thin air. And that was something that I was very upset about. Then I started looking more for reviews. I started looking more what people say and how people enjoy this watch actually. And to my surprise, people started disliking it. People started calling it out for how flimsy it was, looked, for how cheap, for how finicky just this whole watch felt. The strap was extremely cheap, that wouldn't last, and just this whole idea of this bioceramic bullshit degradable case, it just did not work out. And later on, Adrian from Bark and Jack released a video talking about his own MoonSwatch, and that one of the pushers fell off, or broke, completely broke. Now when you're spending $260 on any watch, you would expect some sort of quality. You don't expect Omega quality, you don't expect Rolex quality, but there are Timex, there are Casios, Seikos at that price range that are amazing watches, watches that last you years. And when you're thinking that this watch sure is not gonna be a Speedmaster, it's not gonna feel like a Speedmaster, it's not gonna be anywhere close to the real deal, it will be somewhat close to a Seiko. At least that's what I expected. I didn't expect sapphire crystal, I didn't expect any crazy materials, but I expected some sort of quality, somewhat to last. And this watch just isn't doing it. This watch feels cheap, it just looks cheap, and is an absolute waste of time and money. For all of the people that spent 20 hours, that spent $260 to get it and couldn't sell it at $3,000, $4,000, I am sorry for you. For the people that decided to keep the watch, I hope it still works and I hope it's still fine. None of the pushers fell, or I hope it didn't stop. But I think just the watch in general is absolutely horrible. Generally, the more I look at the watch, I understand that, or I see less and less Omega in this collaboration, and I just see all Swatch. It almost feels as if Swatch went to Omega and said, hey, we want to make or recreate a Speedmaster at a very affordable price. We will keep the Omega name in it, and we will give you guys a cut. Are you down for such a collab? And these guys said, make money out of thin air? Why not? So that is kind of what I see this whole collab going. It is not a collab. It is not anywhere equal work and time put into this from both parties. All I see is Omega name and a stolen Omega design, as if this watch was made in some basement in Shanghai. It's as if you were to go in some basement in a sketchy fucking area in a city to get a fake Rolex for 50 bucks. That is how bad this watch feels. And again, we saw some differences in the dial, in the sub-dials, the way they were changed. And again, we understood that this watch is not going to be a real Speedmaster. But if they make a watch that feels like it's a $20 watch that you would buy for your son to wear and break it by the next day, but they charge it to $60 because it just says Omega on it, I just don't think that this is cool. I understand when the watches do things like that for quick profit, for when they have a model that is coming up with an anniversary or reaches some important milestone. I understand when they take the same watch and changes the dial a little bit, or gives us a little bit of a different color bezel and dial, or maybe makes it two-tone. It's basically the same watch. They didn't put any work or effort at all, but we buy it, right? So that is a very quick cash grab for them. I totally understand it. They're more than welcome to do that, to make their business survive and thrive and grow. But this was absolute garbage. This is absolute fucking horrible. I am glad I didn't get the Speedmaster. I look down at it, and I look down at Omega for making such a collaboration. I mean, it would have been a lot better if they made this collab with Timex or G-Shock or Seiko. Make it with Seiko. Can you imagine how cool of a watch this would be? We would get a Seiko that would look like a Speedmaster, and it will be stainless steel. Hesalite would spend $260, $300, fuck, $400. And we'll get a Seiko that looks like a Speedmaster. It will say Omega X Seiko or some shit like that. Call it the Moon something, I don't give a fuck. Call it the fucking whatever you want. Like, this would have been such a better collab. I would have bought this watch. I would have been happy to wear this watch, and if I wouldn't have had the chance to buy this watch, I would have cried to this day, because I think Seiko and Omega would have been a much better collab. They would have made a much better Speedmaster. In fact, Omega and any other watch brand would have made a better collab. And now with the new Speedmaster that was released, with the MoonSwatch, with the new MoonSwatch that was released yesterday or 2 days ago, people have bought the bullshit already. People know what's up. Lines weren't as crazy. They were still crazy, but not anywhere near. People smelled the bullshit. People knew that this is gonna be absolutely horrific. It was the exact same watch, the exact same quality. Nothing has changed, except now they gave you a gold-plated second hand. So now that chronograph tick hand is gold-plated. That's all, nothing else. I don't even know how much it cost. And in fact, it doesn't matter, because if you watch this video to get informed, it doesn't matter because you can't buy it anyways. One, you're probably not in the same city, because they only sell it in 4 cities, I think. And 2, they don't sell it anymore. So it was super limited, super unavailable. So don't even cry about it, and be happy that you didn't buy it, because it's garbage. And if anything, you might look on Chrono24 now and they might be expensive, but wait a couple more months and you will find it at a very cheap price. And as a matter of fact, go buy a Seiko, you'll be a lot happier. So with that being said, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.